So how did you know
Yeah.
Tom was the one? What made him different?
God damn it. I was just telling him this morning, and he just carried himself like a grown up. You know what I mean? Like, I was still just like, whatever. Like, I was still kind of adolescent.
Mm-hmm.
And Tom Segura's always been a 40-year-old man, you know? And
Wouldn't it be nice if somebody gave you the secrets to attraction? I've spent a lot of my life trying to figure out what makes women attracted to men. And that's taken me down some very interesting pathways, delving into the pickup community, learning about man-woman relating. And in today's clip, I want to give you 5 very clear, very practical attraction triggers. So number 1, you can know what they are. Number 2, you know how to flip them with the woman you're interacting with. And number 3, you also have a compass and a guide in terms of what areas you should actually be working on in terms of improving yourself as an attractive man in today's world. So this is a clip from some podcast with Christina P, I think her name is. She's the wife of comedian Tom Segura. They're both comedians. And it's just very interesting. It's very hard to get like an honest woman's take about what made her attracted to a man. And she'll use her like girl language to describe it. And I'm going to break it down a little bit more into like guy language so that you can easily understand it and learn to use and flip these attraction triggers to have a more successful dating life, relationship, whatever it may be. So let's actually break down this clip, and I'm going to stop it as we go along and give you the 5 attraction triggers as it happens in this clip.
So how did you know
Yeah.
Tom was the one? What made him different?
God damn it. I was just telling him this morning. It's so funny because, so like the minute I met Tommy, he was 23. And like, I was 26, and we met at a bar. The Cat Club is the name of the club, comedy club. And he just carried himself like a grown up. You know what I mean? Like, I was still just like, whatever. Like, I was still kind of adolescent.
Mm-hmm.
And Tom Segura's always been a 40-year-old man, you know? And
Okay, so this is the first important attraction trigger. This is the attraction trigger of hierarchy, which means someone's leader in the relationship. Someone is looking up to the other person. This can be very controversial. Guys are like, no, we're all equal. That's the programming that you've been told to believe, that if, oh, one person's better than the other, that's not very spiritual. But that's exactly the phenomenon she's describing. Even though she was technically older than him in age, she was 26 and he was 23, she's describing how she was still adolescent, like whatever, like almost like a teenage kind of mindset, where even though he was younger, she uses the word mature. He had a maturity to him, and women find this extremely attractive in men. That's why they often date men that are a lot older than them, because this hierarchy is so easily established. But it doesn't matter if you're the same age as the girl, older or younger. The hierarchy is the most important thing. You can be a way older guy than a girl, and she could be more mature than you. Happens all the time. So this understanding of hierarchy, of she's looking up to him like, this guy is more mature than I am. Do women get that feeling from you? And obviously it depends on the woman. If you hang out with a really immature woman, she might look and be like, wow, this guy really knows his stuff. But if you're with like a grounded, mature woman, does she look at you and be like, wow, this guy's really got his stuff together? Or does she look at you almost like a little boy? You know, ask yourself, do you feel like a little boy at times? Or do you feel like a grown-up, mature man? I can say for myself, I know a lot of guys, it's almost like we never had that maturation process. We're just like, there's a lot of men out there who are men in boys' bodies, as I sometimes say. So that's the first attraction trigger, hierarchy. Sometimes people say like, oh, you've got to be the prize, but it's kind of vague. Like, what does that mean to be the prize? Someone you look up to, someone who is better than you, more mature than you. Are you that for the woman that you interact with? Answer that for yourself. Point number 1.
you know, and he's always been mature. And I was so drawn to his stillness and his confidence. And I think, like, I ran this comedy.
Okay, so this is the second thing. She's using language. I was so drawn to his stillness, and she says confidence. But another word for stillness, what she's actually referring to is this phenomenon of containment, where you have to be more contained than the woman you're trying to seduce. So I've done some videos on containment and linked other things, but basically containment means grounded. You're not a scatterbrain. You're not emotionally all over the place. In game language, they'll say you have to be non-reactive or less reactive. And that's what she's saying. I was drawn to his stillness. When a guy is like a rock, women get drawn into his stillness. But if you're like erratic and emotional and, oh my gosh, you didn't text me back, that's not stillness. That's not a rock drawing people towards them. That's like a scatterbrain. And it's very childlike. It's very immature in a lot of ways. So think of almost like as an archetype of this, it's like James Bond. He's like always cool. He's always calm under pressure. No matter what, he maintains his center. Now, that might be like a high ideal to achieve, but all men should be, this has always been a masculine virtue, to be a calm in the middle of the storm. Now, this doesn't mean you suppress your emotions and you never express your emotions, but are you the grounded one in the room? If I look at you and your woman, you want to date with a woman, and I say, who is the most grounded out of these two? If the answer is her, well, good luck. There's going to be no attraction there. So she's saying what drew me to this man was his stillness, his confidence. So he embodied containment. This comes naturally to some men, not so much to others, but you can work on it. You can upgrade these skills, but most men don't even understand this idea of containment. They're emotional, they're crying, posting things on social media, they're being authentic, they're being very vulnerable about crying and all these types of things, but they don't understand containment and they don't understand hierarchy. So understand those before crying in front of your girl all the time. Doesn't make you authentic and vulnerable. It makes you not the leader. You may be authentic and vulnerable, but then don't also expect to attraction and to lead that woman, because those violate hierarchy. Let's keep going. So that's 2, containment and hierarchy.
Ran this comedy room called Tangier, and I would always book him because he could close a show. I mean, to 23, Tom was never bad at comedy. It's fucking annoying. Like, Seguro's always been really, really funny and really talented, and I would book him every week at my show. And I remember watching him.
Okay, so this is the next one. Seduce with mastery. A man should be masterful at something. So this guy was like very good at comedy, and she would book him at the shows, but what she was really thinking is like, wow, this guy's really good at what he does. So it doesn't matter what it is. You could be flipping table tennis. Like, I used to love playing football, and if I ever brought a girl to watch me play football, that was me in my mastery. And that's attractive for a woman to see a man in his mastery. So think of the things that you're good at, and how can you bring women into your world? How can you have women observe you in your mastery? That's going to be really attractive. Okay, this is why you'll often see like I don't know, like the coach of like a tennis club, like women get attracted to him because in that environment, he has the most mastery. And a lot of women find that mastery attractive. So that's a really important point. Seduce with your mastery, seduce with your competence. What are you really good at? What have you built a skill set in? And how can you invite a woman into that world to see you demonstrate that mastery? That's a very attractive thing for a man to do. Okay, so that's number 3, seduce with mastery. 2 more.
Him, and he would just kind of stand, and everyone was talking and, you know, chit-chatting, and he's just kind of like just comfortable standing there. And I was like, wow, look at that. And I just knew.
A spectacle.
So look how she's describing him. It's like everyone was like chit-chatting around. He wasn't the life of the party. Guys get into game and they're like, oh, you got to be like this enthusiast, and you got to be like making people laugh and running all over the place. Not necessarily. Like, she's talking about watching this guy, and he wasn't even interacting with people, but it's the way he's carrying himself. This is concept number 4. A man who finds himself right is an attractive man. So what does that mean, to find yourself right? Well, one of the ways we can think about it is like a man who's calm and relaxed. So have you ever watched guys go out to a club trying to do pickup and seduce women? They're often like very edgy. They're like at the bar, and they feel like uncomfortable in the environment, and it shows. Like, just picture in your own mind, like, what does a guy look like when he's uncomfortable at a bar? He's like a bit jittery, he's like nervous, he's like all over the place. How is she describing this man? Everyone was talking, he's not even talking to anyone, but she says something along the lines of like, just the way he was standing with that confidence and calm. It's like this inner thing that exudes outwards. Are you a man who finds himself right? Can you be totally comfortable in a room of strangers, not talking to anyone, and just be totally in your chill and calm? Or you think like, oh, I look weird, what should I do now? And you're in your head and all these emotions are running. A man who finds himself right is very attractive, and women are watching men. They're watching you from across the room. How does he carry himself? And it's an energy thing. Women are so tuned into a man's energy, but guys are always like, what should I say? Or like, what should I do? It's like, bro, you've been the jittery, weird guy in the corner for the last hour. No line is going to save you in this environment, in this situation. Find yourself right and come into yourself where you feel this relaxation. This is my kingdom. Whatever room you walk into, you own that room, whether it's a bar, a nightclub, a grocery store, a date. It's like you just have this relaxation and calm about you in that environment. Do you have that? Because most guys are like nervous wrecks, and that's the opposite of finding yourself right. Last one coming in, number 5.
I love him. Yeah. And then we went to a backyard party at this guy, Danforth Francis' house. And it was a barbecue. And Tom offered me a slice of pie, blueberry pie. And he was backlit, like the sun was behind his head. It was like a halo, like Jesus. And he was offering me pie. And I looked at him and I go, I'm going to marry Tom Segura. I knew it. I fucking knew it. And I got in the car with my friends and I go, hey, what do you guys think of Tom Segura? And my friend goes, oh, I'd sop him up on a biscuit. And I was like, great, I'm marrying that guy.
And there you have attraction trigger number 5. Other women want him. Okay, so what does she do? She scouts out the guy. She's probably had some conversation with him, but a lot of these attraction triggers didn't happen in the conversation. It wasn't like, oh, he used this special line on me and then he did this push-pull. No, it was just observing this man. He was contained. He was mature. She saw him as higher in the hierarchy. Okay. Number 3, he found himself right. He has that calm about him in the way he goes about it. He seduces with his mastery. These are all things that might not even happen in the conversation. She's observing him. And then what does she do? Which a lot of girls do. It's like, hey, what do you guys think of that guy? It's like, I'm getting this impression that this guy's cool. And it wasn't that, oh, my friend thinks he's hot. That's a bad sign. Women love it when other women are attracted to their man. It's a sign that that's an attractive man. Men fall into 2 categories. Either most women want you or most women don't want you. Which category are you in? You can change. For the first 25 years of my life, most women didn't want me. Every now and then there would come along an outline. I'd be like, oh, here's my chance. Such in scarcity, so needy that I'd always mess it up. But then over time, building seduction skills, building competence, then I got to the point where it's like most women who meet me and I interact with, there would be attraction there. Not every single one, but a lot of the time. It's like the Pareto principle, the 80-20. Either 20% of women are attracted to you or 80% of women are attracted to you. And again, this guy, 80% of women were attracted to him. So you want to ask yourself again, check in. Do most of the women you meet be like, I'm attracted to that guy, and their attraction grows for you over time? Or do most women aren't attracted to you, and anytime you get a girl, you get overly invested, you give her way too much attention, and you end up scaring her off? Okay, well, that's good to know. So in this little clip, even though it was less than 2 minutes, there's so many powerful, potent attraction triggers in there that most men just aren't aware of. And I wanted to make these visible to you so you can know what they are, lock them in the memory bank, and go apply them in your life. Whether you're single and you're dating girls and learning to spark that attraction, or even when you're in a relationship, these same principles of attraction are still applying all the time. And you want to be aware of them. You want to be able to master them and increase your skill and competence in them. It can all be done. So let me know in the comments below, what was the one that was the most illuminating to you? Do you need to be more contained? Do you need to find yourself right? Do you need to be able to have women see you as higher in the hierarchy? Do you need to seduce more with your mastery? Or number 5, do you need to have it be in a situation where not just 1 or 2 girls want you, but many girls want you? These are 5 powerful attraction triggers. Use them wisely, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.